Tottenham Hotspur are 14 points above Chelsea. Tottenham Hotspur are laughing at Chelsea. 14 points separate Tottenham and Chelsea in the Premier League table. Now that is totally and utterly unacceptable. And I think that the club are in for a shock here, because I think Chelsea fans can tolerate an awful lot. But what we cannot tolerate is a performance like that against them. Losing to Tottenham is unacceptable, and we play Leeds United next. Two of our biggest rivals in consecutive games. Graham Potter needs to get out of the club now. I think up until this point, it has been fairly generous towards him, and I think a lot of people have been fairly kind. That is over. Losing to Tottenham is unacceptable, and it is the line that will not be tolerated. The performance today was a catastrophe. It was a joke. And do you know what? It was down to inept management. Get Graham Potter out of the club now. It is essential that he leaves Chelsea. The trajectory that we are on, I'm not speaking in hyperbole here. The trajectory that we are on is we are a club who are threatened by relegation. I genuinely mean that. Look at Chelsea's form over the past 15 games. We are in the relegation zone. There is genuine jeopardy around Chelsea if we persevere with this man at the helm. It is essential that he is given the tic-tac today. He must leave his role. If he leaves, everything will be fine. We obviously aren't going to go down. With him at the club, everything is in jeopardy. We play Leeds. There is absolutely no way that Potter finds a way to beat Leeds. You can see from the way that we are lining up, we cannot get anything. We cannot get any change away from home. We are without a win away from home for 8 games. That is our longest for 2 decades. That is the longest we have gone without an away win for 2 decades. All on Graham Potter's watch, when he has spent £500 million. For what possible reason is there to persevere with this man? I applaud the appointment. On some level, I understand what they were trying to do. They wanted to redefine the way that Chelsea do business. They wanted to redefine the way that we approach football. And they wanted a long-term manager who was there for a period of time to oversee a more holistic side to the game. Fair play, you tried, it didn't work. So now, do not let the ego of a billionaire stand in the way of doing what is right. Todd Bowley, Ed Barley, Clearlake, you need to admit that the appointment was a shambles. You need to admit that the appointment was incorrect. And yes, it's going to cost you a fortune, but you have got loads of money. So get Graham Potter out now. We are undoubtedly, and things stand, we are the worst team in the league. This isn't a joke. We are the worst team in the league, and I honestly believe if something doesn't change, we are going to be pulled into a relegation battle. Graham Potter has failed. He has failed. This isn't my opinion. This is fact. He has been provided with a team that are totally capable of being far higher up the league than we are. Look, I think there are huge issues in the team. I think that there are huge areas of the team that need to be reinvested in, and I think that the scattergun transfer policy hasn't really done us any favours. But we're clearly better than Southampton, and they've just beaten us at home. Something needs to change, and it needs to change now. He needs to get out. There is no two ways about it. He simply must go. Chelsea are on the same points in the league as Aston Villa. Aston Villa had Steven Gerrard in charge earlier this year, and at one point it looked like they were genuine contenders for relegation. We are on the same points as Aston Villa. On every level imaginable, Graham Potter is failing. And we saw it today. Look at the goals that we conceded. Look at that goal. Off the back of half-time. They spent 15 minutes in Graham Potter's company, and all of a sudden, we're 1-0 down. A few seconds into the half. And the catalogue of errors that occurred as we conceded that goal. Like Kepa Arrizabalaga. Terrible. Terrible twice. He should have picked up Emerson Royale's shot, and he should have saved the wallet from Skip. He failed twice. Koulibaly got it all wrong. Joao Felix bullied. Enzo Fernandez, what is he doing? If in doubt, kick it out. Kick it into the stands. Use your loaf of bread. Get it out. Instead of that, he kicks it gently with his left foot into the edge of the area. Skip volley, rifles it home. So foolish. So many errors. And we can't score. We have scored 6 goals in 12 league games. That is the lowest of any Premier League team in that time. So in the last 12 games, nobody has scored fewer goals than Chelsea. Not Bournemouth, not Southampton. Nobody has scored fewer goals than Chelsea in the last... Can you hear this? Can you hear how bad it is? Like, this isn't an opinion anymore. Like, he has to go. He has to go. He is dragging the club into the mire. He is dragging the club into a situation that they just should not be in. There is genuinely a chance that Chelsea will be relegated. So something needs to change. And look at the way that we are so wasteful in front of goal. That is Potter. And you know how we know it's Potter? Because there is data and a case study that proves to us that it's Potter. We've seen it all before. We have seen it at Brighton. What did we say when he was at Brighton? If they had a striker, they'd score loads of goals. All these idiot hipsters, they talk about XG. And he comes to Chelsea. He's got strikers. He's got Aubameyang. We saw him on the pitch today. Got Joao Felix. Got people that know how to put the ball in the back of the net. And still the problem persists. And guess what? Just to ram this point home. De Zerbi at Brighton. Potter's left. And what have Brighton done? They scored 1 billion goals since he left. So who is the problem? It's a recurring theme of Graham Potter's career that he does not know how to get teams to score goals. It isn't about the players. It isn't about the personnel. It is about the manager. He has so many attacking players at Chelsea, and yet he has zero clue how to get the best out of them. He isn't the right man. Look at every player who's come into the club. They spend 10 minutes with him and they're dreadful. Mudrik's best performance for Chelsea. Before he really knew who Graham Potter was. He's suddenly been coached. He looked terrible. He just needs to get out, and I think he needs to go now. I mean, I think there is no way that this can be salvaged. There is no way that we can keep going with Graham Potter. This simply needs rectifying, and it needs rectifying now. I just can't believe what I've watched. Like, Chelsea do not lose to Tottenham. We pride ourselves on beating Tottenham. Whatever is going on at the club, we always beat Tottenham. We have had some terrible teams that have gone to Tottenham and battered them. And over the years, some of my proudest moments, we've beaten Tottenham 4-0 twice in 3 days. We've scored 6 at the Lane. We scored 5 at Wembley. We educate Tottenham. And what's happened today? They've embarrassed us. 2 players coming through the Tottenham Youth Academy have won the game for them. And realistically, we were clueless. We had nothing to offer. Tottenham really eased past us, didn't they? We were toothless. We have nothing to offer. We have no spine. We have no fight. We have no heart. And I think you can use their goal as a microcosm for that. Where was the venom to stop Skip scoring? Where was the desperation? Was Joao Felix desperate to stop them scoring? Didn't look it. Koulibaly, was he desperate to stop them scoring? Didn't look it. Kepa Arrizabalaga, was he fighting, giving everything he's got, putting his body and neck and blood on the line to stop them scoring? Didn't look like it. Enzo Fernandez, was he? There's no heart, there's no fight, there's no spirit. And I really don't know where we go from here. If Graham Potter is in charge at Chelsea, we are honestly on a hiding to nothing. And I don't know where we go from here. Surely the board will look at this. Surely the board will be aware that this cannot continue. I mean, I saw Todd Bowley in the stadium, and he looked confused. He looked baffled by it. But surely something changes. And I mean it tonight. Like, I want to hear the news that it's changing tonight. Like, Potter, he's making change after change. He has no idea what his best team is. We saw another 6 changes to the Chelsea team today from the team that lost to Southampton. There are so many changes. Nothing is right. He's making error after error, and everything that has been asked of Graham Potter since he got the job has been wrong. He needs to leave immediately. I just don't know where we go from here. I'm glad to see Aubameyang in the team, but I think he was brought on too late. It's just a shambles, isn't it? Thank you so much for watching this video. Listen, going to be live doing the cup final on the club now. Look, I'm here on the club. There we go. So tune in. We'll be on YouTube live at 4:15. So I'll see you in a minute. Nice one.